are we doing? Are we on the internet? One day we might come up with a proper intro, but for now we're just still someone else's.
Artist theft, Flo. It's on theme.
Yeah.
So you've got the good to go sign. You're going to be starting new.
Oh, so let me just open to your thing instead of opening the GIF finder on Twitter.
Hell yes. Question
Time
mark.
for the
Neither of
tradition.
us know what we're doing.
It's a big question mark today.
Oh, nice. Really chuffed for you, mate. Not bad.
Am I gonna follow the tradition of I can't find the GIF that I'm thinking of, but there's one here that also works, kind of, but only if you knew what I was looking for in the first place. Does it make
Oh, for God's sake.
It won't be too much, but
The parallel conversation thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's happening. You might be able to guess the thought process going backwards with this one.
I kind of do is the thing. I think I actually do.
maybe kill this first.
If anyone is gonna understand my crazy thought process, it will be you.
Oh boy. Amazing.
There we go. Hello, Frog.
Hey, frog.
Okay, this song needs to go away. This song needs to go. The albums I'm listening to on loop at the moment are at the opposite ends of the emotional spectrum.
Oh yeah.
There's nothing in between. It's either the Royal Blood album that's all really
Thank you, frog.
good hardcore metal, hardcore rock even, and then Dodie's new album.
Ah.
Or Dodie's album. So it's borderline very sad indie music, heavy rock music. No in between.
Oh, my hair still feels gross. Tie it up and try to ignore it.
That's a boss item,
Yeah,
not
feel that.
legendaries, but sure.
That's the way to do it.
It feels super gross today. Should not have let it air dry. That was probably the mistake. Sometimes it's normally fine, but that was probably where I went wrong. I should have just blow dried it and got it out of the way.
Yeah. I keep saying I'm gonna order more hair dye and re-dye mine because it's at a point where it always looks really gross because my roots have grown out to the point where it looks really weird. But there are two wolves inside me. There is one that says I'm going to re-dye my hair, and the other one that says I'm going to cut all my hair off anyway, so I shouldn't bother. If I'm going to cut it, then I don't want to dye this much of it, you know?
Yeah.
That would involve me going to a hairdresser, and we both know that isn't going to happen. I have to do a warm-up, don't I?
Stop now, Stan.
I'm doing mine. Mine's easy because mine requires no thought. Because my warm-up is muscular.
Unfortunately, mine does, and I don't have any.
Get the book out.
Can confirm Moonwell makes a very good pillow. Oh,
Hell yes. I love them.
hell. Yes.
I love them so much.
Full disclaimer. My brain today, so since I've got the bus back from work, to be honest, is and for most of this week, is 85% Posy brain.
Aww.
She has been in charge this week.
Tap that.
I cannot contain her to her corner.
This guy's not dying.
She has a lot of
That guy was
thoughts,
just not
and she
dying.
needs me to know
Well,
about it.
well,
And I
well.
know,
I've already grabbed.
Well,
Yeah,
you-
I've
I
already
know
grabbed
she
it.
has a lot of thought.
You know full well how this works. If you just resist it, then you're just going to be bogged down, or you can just go with it and just write about whatever the hell she's feeling.
That's the thing. That's not. That's not a coherent string of thoughts.
It doesn't need to be.
If I did write it, I couldn't show anyone.
You can show Das,
No.
I could show
which
that.
is what I did with a lot of Delmara stuff.
That's true. That's also what I used to do with Glory, to be fair. And B, it's not like a coherent string of thoughts as much as it is miscellaneous upset and blind panic. And also a feeling that I know what it is, but she really doesn't.
Aww.
Which is general confusion from her perspective anyway. I know what is going on there, but she doesn't. I'm still thinking about it. I'm gonna be thinking about that for a while, I think, that session.
Love you.
Not about D&D.
What do you mean not to
Don't
do
tell
you
her,
know
don't
where
tell
you
her.
are? Do you know where you are? Not to talk about D&D. Whomst the fuck?
Oops. Yeah, Posy is going through a lot.
Aww.
There's been an angry dance frame. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts about that boy. Ugh.
Yeah, no, he's down on the ground floor.
Yeah, last
Kika is like,
I've
Concerned.
been so tempted to go back through last week and just clip about 8 different faces that I made. You got the best one, I think, which is the moment I realized what I was looking at.
I did that on the spot.
Um,
I didn't need to go back and do that because I had the stream window open. As
I
soon
went back to clip it and saw there was a clip already attached to the video. I was like, who the fuck clipped that?
I clipped it at that moment in time. I literally, because I have the dashboard. I literally about 30 seconds after you turned your camera
Oh,
off, I was like,
that's
clip.
right,
Yeah.
As well. Oh yeah, shift. Just
That was
press
one of
the
those
shift
things where
button.
I turned my camera off because I was like, people are
Okay,
still
yeah,
up
and then I can
peeing,
hover over things
I'm
and
not
see
there,
what stacks for them.
but I'm gonna
That's
go
what you can
through
do
something
as
right
well.
now out because I've just realized what I'm looking at.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want my face to distract the other people.
No, you have to hover your.
I turned it off, which ended up
icon
derailing
so
the whole thing.
I
Yep.
don't think you can do that with the keyboard.
High
It was-
quality face is
Yeah.
when right at the beginning where I'm like having a good time getting the Posy stuff out of the way so we can start the session, and then Das goes, one of your books is there, and I go,
Sounded
which
good,
book? That face is also pretty stellar.
Speaking of,
There's the
Das,
yeah, I like.
here
Okay,
is your serotonin injection for the day.
at the start of the session, you were like, "I'll get my stuff out of the way and it'll be done," and then the entire session ended up being focused on
Yeah,
you.
I was like, well, Posy will have these little compulsions, so I'll just get them done so that we can carry on with the session and go to Neverwinter,
nope,
so I don't derail the session, and then I derailed the session.
bitch, you thought.
I really did. I cannot tell you the level of I didn't expect that. Like, because obviously shit happened at the end of the session. I was like, no, I didn't. I tied you. You didn't derail the session. I tied you to the railroad tracks. You sure did, but obviously that was the like shh, go to sleep thing at the end of the last session. I was like, oh, that's ominous, but I don't think anything will come of that. Like, I thought it was something else. Is the best way I can say that. Moon is sus.
Moon is sus.
Moon is sus. I can't believe that's become a meme. My princess chat. But yeah, it blindsided me so much, and like,
Assuming the
not to
commander
admit
there
that I've rewatched the
has
session,
one.
but I have because I took no notes throughout the whole
That's
thing.
fine,
I had to. But like, I'm talking so slowly because in my head is just panic, just complete panic, and I'm like trying to string a sentence together, but my whole brain is going.
Oh no, you froze.
The whole session.
You froze.
It never-
You froze
no,
up at
I
just the
never-
right time.
Oh, come on.
It literally went. My brain just went, and then you paused.
It just fuck.
Yeah.
My brain just went.
Oh, incoming worms.
Eh.
We are
And
having,
ever since, like, oh what?
we are having connection tonight. Goodness.
Are we?
It is on my end.
I look fine on the street.
You look fine,
Got
but
it
I
right?
feel like occasionally.
Oh, it's the audio.
Oh, yeah. Is it not lag? Is it just your microphone again?
It will probably be my mic 'cause on the way out.
Gotcha.
That will probably be it. It'll probably be when I'm moving my hand, because it's currently tied to my hand. How bad is it?
It's not too bad, but it's like literally very occasionally, but it'll always be like just the odd word where you're like, oh, my brain was like blank, and then it's
Yeah.
like we don't hear the end
I'm
of
just
it.
going to project my voice a little bit, because it might be when I'm trailing off.
Maybe.
But,
That applies when you get hit while you're in shield mode.
I'm sorry. What?
yeah. I
No,
don't know what
I
that's
just
about.
read the chat and I was
Yeah, no, that's not what I was saying. I don't know what that's about.
What?
But,
I don't want to know.
yeah, no, Posey has been very loud. Very loud in my brain all week.
Aww.
About many things. All of which she's construing potentially the wrong way. I so
Max,
didn't
tax
think.
me.
I keep going to apologize. I shouldn't apologize. Me and Blue haven't had a chance to talk about this yet. I so didn't expect that to come out this early, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think that book would come out for a very long time. So like having to do that
It's
monologue.
high as fuck.
Thanks, guys. But having to be like,
Sure, why not?
you can kind of see it as well in my brain going, I'm gonna have to work out how to explain this.
How's this?
And it was
Maybe
interesting
possibly
as well
5,000
because
gold earned.
I don't think I had
Maybe
worked out
later.
some of the things. Like, some of the things I said as Posey in that session were not things I had pre-thought. Like, I don't think I knew out of character why she had it still.
Mm-hmm.
But it just made sense when I was explaining it to be like, well, I couldn't, like, how could I get rid of it? Like, of course that's why she had it,
Yeah.
you know, like,
Oh, that
it all just,
yeah, that happens. It's happened a lot to me as well. Is that there are times where it's like you only decide in the moment.
Mhm.
It clicks in.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, should we activate?
Yeah. I'm gonna be thinking about this, I think, for as long as I don't have it. As long as I don't have that book back, I'm gonna be like, who the fuck has it? Where is it? What are they doing with it?
Hmm.
They're gonna right now. Nope. Unfortunately, no one knows what that name means. Hopefully,
Not in this group.
among the Planet Princess party. So, hopefully, people don't hate me. My
My
plot
plot
device
device
now.
now.
God damn you! I was going to use it. I wasn't gonna use it. Yep. Feels guilty on Lo's behalf. Soup.
Soup.
It's so like
It's just got such
watching
a
it
good noise
back,
with it as well.
like obviously it's to do with Lo's shit, but I can't emphasize enough. A, how much me in the moment, but B, Posey don't think of it that way. More than that, I can't really say. But yeah, no, I wasn't like in the moment. I didn't even think it was anything to do with Lo until after the session where I was like, oh yeah, that's what they were talking about. Like, I
Yeah.
so in
Yeah, I get
the
you.
context of it was so caught up in the context of Posey that I completely separated it from Lowe's shit in my head.
Well, like, so you were kind of thinking it might be some moon shit to start with, so you were just focused on something else.
You're a bit backwards.
Potentially
Yeah.
something else. You
Well, I
think-
didn't think it would be to do with the book at all.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be something to do with me.
Warm-up circle's done.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I got some motivation. I'm going to decide what I'm going to do for warm-up.
No, keep going. You're kind of venting, which you kind of need to. You need to do you need to do the session debrief.
Yeah. The Moon TM is such an individual. Yeah, I need to get. I haven't spoken to anyone about D&D this week because I haven't had a chance. So.
No, that's alright.
One of the benefits of Art Stream Chat. It's just a shame that Art Stream Chat is almost a full week after the session.
Yeah, it's enough time to reflect on it.
I'm gonna go look for the ticket.
The Moon TM. Moon is sus. Hashtag Moon is sus.
The moon is sus.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Moon is sus. Do I want to say what I thought had happened? Or can I?
It depends if you trust people to not be meta, which I think generally we can.
Well, no, it's not even that. I really thought that all that had happened at the end of the session before was that the moon had literally put her to sleep because Posey, I didn't think, would fall asleep inside on her own. That's what I thought had happened.
Ah.
I thought that was it. I thought that was gonna be it.
There's an ethereal portal if you're feeling really suicidal.
But it's really not helping her compulsion about sleeping inside. Let's put it that way.
No. Her nightlight had fallen asleep.
Yeah. She went up because that's the thing. I just finished talking to the moon, so I thought it was just a.
Still the moon, yeah.
It was so much worse. It was so much worse than that.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah. I have so many good messages from Kay during that session
Fires
and after it.
With every
It's just
shot
how
I did,
dare
or
you.
every shot? Yeah, it's
Which
every shot.
is when was that? It was right at the end. It was something that I said, I can't remember, but he was just like, how dare you? I'm not meant to feel things right now. Where was it?
Yeah, sorry, that confused me. Whoa.
Yeah, this isn't Final Fantasy. How dare you make me feel things? Is what he said.
Aww.
Yeah. I can't remember what that was in relation to. It was right at the end. Oh, because we love you. What did you say? Was what that was? It was that part. It was right at the end.
We love you.
So many thoughts. I have so many thoughts about that. Yokanari, you're a good actor. I don't know if that's true. The amount of effort to get through a sentence. Your reaction to that statement. I will never forget that face. That was... I was so in character by that point, because I'd had to RP... an emotional range she doesn't want to be in for an entire session. At that point you kind of can't get out of it, otherwise you're just gonna... Like, when you're in such a heightened state of blue, you must know this. Like, when you're in such a heightened state in a character, the minute you drop out of it, you're like, oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to kind of maintain it for the whole time. Otherwise, you're just gonna drop off. You can't, like... But, like, when we took break, I was like, okay, I need to kind of keep it at this level, almost.
Yep. Yep, I can relate very heavily.
Mm-hmm. Or like that good feeling when you're on break and you're like, I'm gonna have to explain, especially because when we took break, when we did, I was like, how on earth do I even start with this?
Yeah.
Where do I go from here?
I was kind of like proud of Posey in the bit when she sort of stepped
Was
up
I?
when she sort of said, "Was like, no, I'm gonna explain this," because it could have been, it would have been very easy to just sort of take the step back and just like.
Yeah.
But I was actually kind of proud of her to actually be like, okay, I'm going to explain it.
It helps that, and I think I've established this
stuff
enough
that's
that
not
I can
dying.
say this. Posey's feelings about the lady in red are
Like, it's registering
complicated,
damage, but then they get to zero.
not
I think everybody's
entirely
are.
positive.
Yeah.
So her explaining this, and also because of, as she said, like, hello, Kay, we were just talking about you.
Hey.
Also because, as she kind of said, she thought it would make the explaining it would make her look bad, like that explaining this would make you guys hate her. She didn't want someone else to explain that, you know, like,
Yeah.
because
then it's less of an explanation and more of an accusation.
Yeah. I have a lot of feelings about that whole conversation, but yeah, Posey. I wouldn't say Posey doesn't like the Lady in Red, because that's not entirely true. But she definitely isn't comfortable with her.
I can
Is
see
what
it.
I'll say.
It comes across as such.
Which is why the first thing she said was, "Did you take my book?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she doesn't. There's no trust there. There's no trust there. Absolutely not.
Oh, my baby is so naive.
Well, no. There's okay. I've mentioned 3 faces that I made. There's actually a 4th, but I literally don't want to point it out because I feel like in pointing it out, it's almost giving something away.
Uh-huh.
But it's to do with you.
What? Me? What?
It's to do with you.
Me?
Of course, she doesn't trust her. She's an archfey. Exactly.
Duh.
Which is why she finds it's very unusual that everyone else seems to.
Tab back in thing.
I think Kika is partially responsible for that. I think she's kind of aided in making people forget that because she constantly refers to her like a normal person. Whereas, you know, when you think instead of how,
Actually, if
you
I
know,
myself get
Lo
killed,
refers to the lady in pink,
I'm
how
probably
Kika
fine
refers to
with
the
that.
lady in red is so different. Like it's very humanizing. She does make her just seem like a person.
Auntie.
Yeah.
That's not what she is.
No, it's not. Again, my baby bird just so.
She's a child.
She is a child. How many times do I have to explain
Child.
this?
No, that's. I'm saying that with all the affection and frustration that I can muster. She's a child.
you gotta tell me what it was that made you make a face.
If you want to go back and look at it,
You upset Curls.
No,
You ruined
maybe.
the campaign.
No.
in character, go back and look at when we're talking about Gregor.
I knew it would be that. I was thinking about that
Yeah,
as well. I was
honestly,
like, it was one of those moments where afterwards you sort of look at your character and go, wow, you really said that, didn't you?
I feel that all the time.
Is this Lauren Hardy?
He is his best and his worst. Oh, well, that's alright then. And
It's
afterwards
a
I
lot
was
of these
like,
eyebrows. It's a lot of this face. Like,
that's alright then. Like, afterwards I was like, what? What
Yeah.
do you mean that's alright then?
that's so not okay. Like, there were so many. If I had been like conscious enough in myself to make memes, it would have been the. You understand that that's worse, right?
Yeah. You get how that's worse.
Yeah. Like the babysitting anecdote too. Jesus Christ. Like, Posey said this, but like again, I can't emphasize this enough to think about it. How Posey thinks it. Like, Posey knows Gregor from those as an experiment, like an absolute monster essentially. And then the first time she's in combat with Kika,
Oh no!
she summons the illusory version of it like it's nothing. And Posey's like, What?
Behold, a
I have feelings
babysitter.
about the whole thing. Me too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Behold, a babysitter. Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have feelings about the whole thing, Frog. Unfortunately, I am concerned how they will manifest if Posey and Lo talk
Yeah,
in
back.
private. Just advanced apologies.
No, thank you. Okay, I got a bit of catching up to do now, but that's the fun of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's part of the problem
Everything's fine.
with her upbringing, though. It was like one of the things that I like specifically said to Das is like, oh, literally nothing will surprise her in terms of like creatures and things because she has already seen it all in her tiny lifespan.
Yeah.
So it's there will never be anything that she sees that makes her go, whoa, that's weird. Nothing is weird to her, but that is so dangerous. It is so dangerous to live in a world like Faerun.
Yeah.
And I mean, she'll know things are dangerous, but she won't be surprised by it.
They're kind of... Posey and Kika are kind of opposite ends of that, though.
Just get me
Because Posey's kind of similar, not the same, but in that she's read that book. So, like, there is no, like, maximum amount of evil that will surprise her. So, like, horrendous things, like monstrous things, will not surprise her that people can do. Because she's literally read this full book of just basically pure evil. of experiments on good people, turning them into all kinds of monsters to try and create some, like, crazy perfection. Like, she's read anecdotes very casually about, like, maybe some of the most evil shit. So, like, encountering, like, horrific things won't really shake her too much. But, like, Kika's kind of the other way. In that, like, I imagine, like, monstrous people, like, people doing monstrous things, probably would really fuck her up.
Yeah,
But
she is a baby.
Well, like, craziness of the universe, like
She didn't question.
flying castle with a giant in it.
Yeah, didn't question that. She
No
didn't
question.
She didn't
Posey's
question.
like,
Didn't question when you were like, "Oh, I'm talking to the moon," and Kiko was like, "Oh, that's nice."
yeah, like,
don't question it.
two ends of a spectrum. Yeah, I think
I'm a little busy at the moment.
Kika is used to monstrous people, not people who are monstrous. Yeah,
Yes.
because Kika's been cushioned from bad things.
Okay,
Yes.
Posey's almost the opposite.
Oh shit.
Gone for holidays in alternate planes of existence.
Yeah.
You know, as a treat. As a treat. As a treat. We'll go to another plane of existence as a treat. Yeah, a bit of a getaway.
I'm excited for the day where we're on the same footing of knowing things about each other's
barely
characters, and
alive.
we can dissect the whole thing, because I have a lot of thoughts about it.
The thing, Kika's a bit different from all of my other characters is that she, in herself, doesn't really have any sort of, like, secrets.
Just trying to kill a
Like,
few
if people
shits.
ask
Those
her,
are complicated.
if people, it's like if people ask her questions, she'll probably happily give you answers to them. She's not generally a secretive
Yeah.
person.
It's knowing what the questions are,
Yeah,
to some extent.
yeah,
It's like the KO thing.
yeah. That was
It's like, I wouldn't have known. to
yeah. That
ask
was me being like,
know.
I'll give a little bit of tidbit here because no one would. Because it's like, well, she wouldn't keep it a secret, but no one would think to ask. So I'm going to volunteer this bit of information.
Yeah. I realised that, especially after this session, because I was like, I didn't expect the book thing to come up now, but short of someone stealing it, like another member of the party stealing it from her, I don't know how it would come up. So, bonus points down,
Yeah.
because I don't think I would have brought that up. any other way.
Well, that's a trick that, like, I mean, as you so expertly demonstrated in your Cave of Reflections, is that really players' backstories are best when the player is allowed to bring them forward. But obviously, players instinctively want to keep them secret, so the DM has to urge them to do it. But at the same time, you don't want the DM to be the one who reveals it. It should be the player who reveals it. So the DM has to craft a situation which causes the reveal, which is very hard to do.
Yeah. Which is, yeah, kudos to us, because... I've opened the Posy door because now she has my whole ass brain.
Yeah, it's just a bonus.
Oh, I'm gonna do one that's got a low word count on it, because then it will stop me from doing it for the next hour. Because I only want to spend max another half hour.
Fair enough.
Not doing warm up.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna do one that's 300 words.
Got like a mental thing of like warm up probably shouldn't go past 9.
Yeah,
Your
I'm the
base
same.
damage is 78 now.
Warm up lines are done. Time for a warm up sketch.
Okay, if I want to stop thinking about Posy, I've got to stop listening to her playlist.
Told you before. You got to embrace it.
I don't know what I would write. If I did, there's no like topic. There's not a scene that I'm thinking about. It's just a series of emotions that are loud and unhelpful.
Right.
Big news playlist on, even though it's only like 4 songs long at the moment. Redirect it that way. Oh, I could redraft that today. That might be a thing I do. So a diary entry, do not open that.
Oof.
I did that once for Posy. Did I do that? No, it was literally after session 1. I did it at CoxCon.
Nice.
We were at CoxCon, and I don't know, people were going to a panel or something, and I was taking like 5 minutes away from people, and so I wrote I didn't bring a notebook with me, so I bought like a 20p notebook from the works or something. Just scribbled down like 4 pages and gave it to Das, and Das read it in a panel. Just for sat there reading it. Yeah, that was literally after session 1, I think, or session 0. It was very early days. But it was literally like, I had a feeling, like a concept that I couldn't get out of my head.
First stage 3 times, you get a challenge done, so we'll go for that next, I suppose. And a challenge. Is that the drones? Pass them. Yep.
Looks like I'm gonna have to do what I did last week.
Which is
Random Pokemon generator, because I don't know what the hell to draw. Last week we had a Glaceon. Generate 1 Pokemon from all regions. Generate Rampardos? Fucking A, okay. I'll go with it. Another
I hope
Sinnoh
someone has taken
Pokemon.
note of something which recurs in episode as they progress.
what?
I mean, I take notes
Yes,
Yeah, we know
in
things.
theory when I'm not RPing really heavily and don't write anything down. Part of me is like, I need to go through and really make notes for that session, but part of me is like, also, you're not gonna forget anything.
Yeah.
Like, I took down all the details of the desk because that's obviously very specific.
Back in the day, I didn't need to take notes for Blood and Sand. I just remembered everything.
Yeah.
Because so much happened all the time.
Things are happening so much.
I think I literally
Yeah,
said. I think I literally said once that I was like, "Oh, Demara just crouches down." And was like, "Can things stop happening for 10 minutes?"
That's a mood. That's a D&D mood. I feel that about Oakheart and I'm not even a player. What's the lady? I have a feeling I know. Feeling I know.
Yeah. Kika's certainly noticed a few things, and of course is immediately worrying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why, like, she does want to talk to Runara.
Hmm.
But it is, and it's not going to be a private thing because again, Kika's not a very private person, so she'll literally just go to Runara and just be like, "Well, I really appreciate what you did because we really needed the help. Please, maybe don't do that again because she looks really tired." Please, maybe don't do that again.
Yeah. Things we will talk about when we get to Neverwinter, whatever the fuck is gonna happen in Neverwinter. I got an idea. Talk to me!
Me?
Me? Yes, you. You.
Back off, bitch.
You know, give Kika a gun. No. Kika, no allowed gun.
Enemies receive damage over time upon dropping below.
Only Posey allowed gun.
That increases health threshold.
So we call it
I was saying to
Um,
Das. Who was I saying this
previous
to?
levels.
Das or K? Where I realized all at once that I've basically made Posey into like some kind of like in a
Loop back
in
to
a
the first
modern
stage
or
of
sci-fi
the
game she would be like
No,
a
it wasn't
stealth
the same game,
sniper.
interesting,
She like unintentionally I've made her into that. Someone call it
I'm
cleric,
quite
but not from me. I want to put it on record as well. This might be glory manifesting, but you also shouldn't give Kirok a gun. Kirok is also not allowed a gun. I don't care that she's an adult. Kirok should not have a gun.
Kiron doesn't need a gun. She can bang on her own, and has done historically. You don't need a gun if you
Hey,
can
that's what
spontaneously combust.
Kirok should be able to do neither of those things.
And yet.
Someone disarm Kirok, please.
No, someone already did that. That's why we're in this mess, girls. That's
Very
why
literally-
we're
very
here.
literally happened.
This is the thing we're trying to prevent.
Oh man. I'm sorry, Glory took over for a minute there.
And yet, who had to take the axe off her prey?
Some sort of acrid creature.
I still can't believe you could hold that.
It was pure fate, because I did not have good strength, so it was pure fate letting me hold that axe back.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Oh god. The whole alternate string of RPs in my brain, if Glory had actually hurt someone with that thing. Other than Varys is familiar. Like, god, she would not have done well. She would not have done well. Fate. Was fate. The dice have an
power of
agenda.
Friendship. Love to see it.
That's something I should have put in that. But then at that point, that fic was going to get too long, right? The one about Glory and Kirok.
I mean, probably
Like,
not,
that
because
goes over like 10 parts.
Yeah, so I say probably not, because it was literally 10 parts, so it wasn't like you know, it was split.
Did I get to 10 parts or did I settle for 8 in the end? I can't remember.
I feel like you didn't get to for the full 10.
For those in the chat that don't know, I wrote a thing, I guess it's fic, which basically, because I was having a lot of feelings of the overall journey of Glory and Kirok's friendship, so I wrote a bunch of like little scenes in order from start to finish, which all kind of thematically went together. Yeah, it's called A Miracle. That's it. Well, technically, it starts before Glory and Kirok meet, because it starts with Glory killing a bird when she was a child.
Yes.
Because
That's the first one.
that's a parallel I made.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's... How many did I get to? Oh no, I got to 10.
Oh, did you? Nice.
But did I skip a number? Because that's the thing I would probably do. This fic makes me cry. There's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Yeah, what did I add then?
Yeah, you must have added one, because I remember you struggling to get to number 10.
I really struggled. But like, not for lack of thing, but which thing, right? Oh, it was Tion, wasn't it?
Finding Tion.
Oh, it's an ancient
Yeah.
list.
God, I just read I'd do it for you and just immediately how dare you.
I get you!
Still to this day.
The power of friendship!
Yeah, sure. No, keep looping.
Yeah, so in the end it ended up
It's,
being
my HP up to 5,000.
before they met,
Loads
the
to
time they met,
7,000. So I need to
when
get loads of health increase
Kirok
again.
was against the dragon,
God.
when the first time, when Divine Intervention happened about Kirok's leg,
Who doesn't
Ah,
know?
yes.
because what a fucking thing. Dice have an agenda.
Fate.
When Kirok talked to Glory about Zolto for the first time.
Yeah. I am going to have this conversation, and whether you like it or not. I don't like it. Well, I'm still
She did
having.
not.
I'm still having this conversation.
Ugh. We do not have enough miracles spare for all of you to live through him. Ugh. Yeah, and then it's
So
going
you
into
do
Glory's
it
brain. I do it for you. Is that one? Ian coming back. Gwen being born, and then killing Sansori, and then wholesome baby scene
Baby.
that also makes me cry.
Hold the baby.
Baby. Yeah, that was the whole reason I wrote it.
Yeah,
wasn't it,
yeah,
for
I
that?
remember, because to this day I vividly remember us having coffee together in the coffee shop and me literally taking your hands and being like, she would do this. Gerok would do this with Glory's hands.
Because that's the whole reason I wrote it, because I kept trying to write it. I found versions of me trying to write that scene, but I couldn't write it without explaining everything that made that important. So I just wrote 10 parts leading to it. Starting with Gloria as a kid accidentally killing a bird because she didn't understand why she was getting strong suddenly, and so she just didn't mean to. Again, things I wrote without thinking about it.
Is it?
I do it for you was the I love you moment for Glory. Yeah. Like, obviously her and Ash are a whole thing, but in terms of Glory and Kirok's relationship, I do it for you is peak.
I think we'll weather it.
Yeah.
We got him.
I'm weeping. Stop.
We got him.
Thank you. Okay, with my go.
I'm not entirely sure what Punk is at this point, like a weird amalgam of a fly and a cat. What the fuck? Yeah, that's the whole reason I wrote it, because I couldn't articulate the journey, that whole journey. So I wrote it in also
What kind of bitter root got to again?
because it makes me emotional. I can tell you already if we finish Pop. If Posey lives to the end, I'm gonna end up writing something similar but on a different theme because I'm already seeing it.
Well then.
But it depends when we go. Posey might die next week.
No!
Just shot the landmine of like, I had this super valuable artifact that's super dangerous. It's gone now, and then I die. That would be something.
Your problem now, guys. I'm out.
You fix this.
How's the teeth, eh?
To be honest, that's probably like if Posey was gonna die, it would be good that you guys knew about it. If that was gone, it would be bad if Posey died and that was gone and no one knew. That would be worse. Okay.
Maybe I should have shield on in the remake because I had Cranidos the last time.
I think we've desynced again because I've already picked that up.
That's where Blue's resting brain is, everybody.
I'm drawing a Pokemon!
It's just always ticking away back there, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
What
yes.
team you're gonna have?
my brain is always in some form of Pokemon mode at any given moment. Either I'm thinking,
Oh yeah, I mean,
either I'm thinking
it's the same
about
with me and DA.
either I'm thinking about the remakes, or I'm thinking about my Pokemon cards, or I'm thinking about Pokemon Snap, which I'm loving.
I should probably, I was gonna say I should probably open this door. How are you finding Pokemon Snap?
I love it, and I haven't even
Good.
played that much because I got it
Good.
on Sunday, but because of like various birthday things, didn't actually play it much because it was like, oh, you know, we're having a lunch and going for a walk and spending time with my family that I never get to see, so it was like, yay, enjoy birthday stuff. So I barely even got to play it, and then of course it's been work. So I've only like just unlocked the second route, but I'm still just like, yes. And I played a little bit. I played a little bit of the second route today, and already have like 3 pictures that I want to upload to my Twitter. And I'm like, I'm loving these pictures that I'm taking, and I'm only on the first level of the second route, and I'm like, this stuff is gonna get so much more complicated, and I'm all like, the ones I already look so nice.
I was watching Strip and Snowstorm, and I realized he and I were in the same kind of headspace about Pokemon Snap. And watching like everyone else he was playing with try and explain Pokemon Snap to him made me realize I do not understand. Because Sam was like, I don't get it, you just take photos. Whereas I'm like, oh, I totally get why that would be fun. Just a game of taking photos of Pokemon. Yes, obviously, anyone who unfortunately follows me on Twitter knows I love photo modes. So I was like, no, I totally get it. But like everyone was like, no, you know, you can throw an apple at a Charmeleon to knock it into lava and it'll become a Charizard. I'm like, what? Me and Sam were like, what? It's very funny.
Yeah, like one of the photos that I want to upload to my Twitter. Oh, I've reached for the Switch now. This is what you've done.
Oh no! I just wanted to see if you were having fun.
I'm having so much fun. One of the pictures that I want to upload is this. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera, but I don't even know who's gonna pick up on the stream. But you'll have to check my Twitter because I will post it there. But I got this adorable picture of this Lipard sleeping on a rock, and it's like it's perfectly in the center of the frame. It's front on. I think I got like a diamond rating for it, and I was just like, yes. And that was on my first trek through the level.
Hey, 5001 HP. I have not reached 5001 HP.
So cute. Nature photography, the game, yeah. See, that's the thing. Sam was coming at it from the perspective of like, I don't get it, that doesn't sound fun. Whereas I totally get why that would be fun. God knows, in most games I've played, that if they have a photo mode, or even if they're just pretty, I cannot stop myself from basically making it photography. God knows, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Mm-hmm.
I think I spent more time in that game's photo mode. Any game that has a photo mode and a day-night cycle and therefore a golden hour, that's all I'm gonna do. God knows in Final Fantasy. I need to find a way to deal with my Final Fantasy folder on my PlayStation, because it is becoming it has reached a point where it is rivaling the amount of space of like some of my games. Because I have so many photos that I can't post because they're spoilers, but I love them.
Well, then you just need to get yourself a memory stick or an external drive and just move them to like a computer.
My external drive is not compatible with my PlayStation.
Why?
I don't know. It says on my drive that it is compatible with PlayStation, but when I plug it into the PlayStation, it's like, this isn't compatible. I'm like, why not? I can't wait for the Mass Effect photo mode. Don't talk to me about the Legendary Edition photo mode. Don't. Because if I get it, that'll be it. Because that's the only thing different. So that will be what I do. Yeah, that comes out in 3 days, huh? Legendary Edition. I'm excited for the guy I see on the bus every morning in an N7 hoodie. I'm sure that guy will have a great time. I'm most excited about the fact that not this week, but next week is the 3rd edition of Dark Fortress. I'm excited to see who dies. When you use the lasso tool, how do you get out of it? Escape, generally,
Control D
I would say. Control D is also a
to
good call.
deselect.
Comes out Saturday. Good choice.
That's a really cool picture of an Arbok. That was like
Hey.
it's like perfectly framed because it was hiding in the bushes. So I threw an apple at it, but instead of eating the apple, I accidentally hit it, so it got angry at me. But
Oh no.
But I perfectly positioned it so that it like rears back and hisses, but it's like in a perfect gap in the leaves because it was behind like this big thing of bushes. So I just have this perfectly positioned Arbok with a little frame of leaves, and I'm just like, ugh, yes. So yeah, I'm not very far through.
Oh.
I have cheated with eyes and do not care. Live your life. Like, there are no rules. Do what you will.
There is no cheating.
There is no cheating if there were never ever any rules.
Nice.
The amount of times where I've drawn something and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna copy and paste that so I don't have to draw two.
Yep.
It's green. Lower your gravity.
I was gonna say I wish there were tricks like that with writing, but there kind of are. They're just very different. My chair has sunk down so far. Much better. I can tell how much my chair is sunk by how far my toes are getting pushed into the carpet.
Nope, that one just
Take a sip,
bounced out.
babes. Thank
Take a
God,
sip.
I haven't drunk any water in a while. Oh, this is cold. I accidentally left this by the window. So it's all it's like chilled because the wind coming through.
Blay. Get out of it, worms. Stand you. Why? You are a... It just makes it so much quicker and you're just an idiot. Gun!
It's going well.
I'm gonna do some fucking damage to you in a minute. Oh look, a storm's approaching. Fireworks.
Okay, my phone needs to update so it can't be a Spotify remote anymore.
Dang it.
So I've just put the Bastille album on shuffle and hopefully that's a safe bet.
And so he left.
It
Glad
probably
that he
is.
pressed the cannon.
Unable to redeem a
Um,
I wonder if that's something that's for the specialist then. Sorry? Oh yeah, what were them weird new things that we saw? Didn't see. Them new creatures that we saw. I don't know. Didn't give them a name. Who's this guy then? Really? Really? He's called the Fat Mando.
What?
Who gave him cake? Total dive, launch yourself into the air and knock enemies back on impact for 100% damage. Fat Mando deals damage on impact from great heights.
What?
That's the new character I unlocked.
What?
Yeah, I think so.
Thought that was the cat for a minute.
I'm heading off to bed, mate, yeah. I'll catch you tomorrow, mate. Lol. See you later.
A single line equals mouth. Exactly. Now you're getting it.
Yep, that's how we do.
I don't know how this is what I've ended up writing about in warm-up, but it is what I've ended up writing about in warm-up, so... I like that Google has opinions on how I spell that.
Google always has opinions. Not necessarily correct.
Nope. But it does know how to correctly spell Magitech, and apparently I don't, so... It was all well and good until it started being able to spelling correct me on my own fictional places. Then I was upset.
Oh dear.
I was like, okay, now you know too much. Yeah, jumped in my warm-up. Easy, it was Final Fantasy's a gimme these days.
You saw his moments of recognition there, didn't you?
It was hard to miss, darling.
I thought it was quite subtle.
Oh. Well, it's 9 o'clock. Rampados is done. And I still don't know what the fuck to draw.
Yeah, I'm finishing this warm-up and I don't order right afterwards.
I mean, I have a million things that are half done that I could continue.
Yeah, you keep doing eggs.
I suppose I could. Where's Ix? I like how the file is still titled Sketch, even though it's been well past the sketch for several weeks. We're well past the sketching stage on this.
I said I don't know what to write. I had an idea on the bus, but it's still just like a concept. It's not a narrative. So like, it's just like a, oh, that'd be cool. But there's nothing, there's nothing I can write about. I have that all the time, actually. I have a lot of things that I'm like, oh, that's a cool thing, or a cool scene, but there's no... I mean, I get around that sometimes by, like, doing what I did last week, which was just writing that scene.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't have any narrative at all. And then I'm like, well, what do I do with this? Because then I'm just going to end up doing, like, weird passive voice description, and that's just nothing. It's just nothing. It is not constructive.
Ooh, clicked the wrong thing again. There we go.
Right, okay, that's my warm-up. I got to a point where I felt my brain was going a little bit. What am I working on? I still have my D&D folder open. Well, what's in here? I think, weirdly, most of the stuff that's in here is done. They're all glory things anyway, so I have plenty of time to finish them, to be fair. Do I have anything in here? Where's that thing I wrote for you last week?
Mm. The good shit.
I could do another pass on that. I kind of... Do I want to?
But it's so good.
I'm glad you enjoy it, because really I did it for you. Really, honestly, I just wrote that for you.
I like it a lot.
Good. It's mostly my character getting hurt.
It's mostly my character getting angry.
Yeah. It's peak us. It's just, it's causing pain to characters we deeply love and care about.
It's gonna be one or the other, let's be real.
Yeah.
Someone is the hurt and someone is the hurty.
Yeah. And normally someone is being hurt, but we're vicariously feeling the concern of the other person involved. We're masochists. We're RP masochists.
Shh. Looks at Delmara. Shh.
Looks at all my characters. It's like, no, go over there. For those in chat who don't know, because I didn't really explain it last week, but Blue gave me an idea. Blue did a good art of her Final Fantasy OC Exa last week, and so I wrote a thing that went with that, because that ability is like very RP conducive.
You mean this?
You popping up on screen?
Yes.
Yeah, so I wrote a thing. It's literally just called Earthly Star Dragon Sight, because they're the two abilities that are in it. Earthly Star is an Astrologian ability, so it's an Insignia one, which is my Final Fantasy OC.
Mm-hmm.
And Dragon Sight is the one that Blue drew.
Guesties?
It also, for people in chat, it also does very briefly contain Thane, which is Das's, the captain, which is Kay's, very briefly, and the sound effects of Roman.
Yes.
Even if Roman herself never appears. Romanin.
Yes. Romanin.
The Dread Captain? I don't know if I called her by... I think I just called her the Captain.
The captain, I believe, was how you referred to her.
Yeah. Because, again, for those in chat, it's so frantic that, like, a full description of character wouldn't make sense. She only calls herself that? Yeah, exactly. I had to work out how the captain speaks because she has a single line, but I was like... It's a her thing. Yeah, again, because they're only passing characters. They're just part of the dungeon party. So they're briefly in it. Mostly as distant sounds. Yeah, everyone's in it briefly because for the first part, Iphigenia is on her own, trying to find everyone else, and for the second part, Iphigenia is barely conscious, so... Everyone's kind of in it. God, my Final Fantasy folder is getting out of hand. I never title any of my damn documents. They're all just called untitled document. What the fuck? What is this one? Oh, no, get out of that. That was, I had a lot of feelings about that scene. I had to go somewhere. If I was gonna write something about that idea I had, how would I put that? Unfortunately, all the, like, other than coming up with something, which is what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, all the, like, if I was gonna take an easy out and do a pre-existing character that I already have, all the ones I want to write about, I then would not be able to talk about, which at the moment I'm not in the mood to do. It's like, I want to write about Posey or Mara. Well, I can't write about either of those and talk about it, so...
Goes into art folder.
Again, there's untitled documents here. What are these? What were they?
Shrug.
Oh god. This is something that needs to become something because it's too cool to not become something.
Sending you this again to remind you that that exists.
Wait, what? What have you done?
Sending you that again just to remind you.
What have you done? Oh, yeah.
The head shake.
It's not just putting Mara in every situation at the moment is so hard. Because all I want to do is talk about and play Mara. But it's not. That's not how it works.
No, it's not how it works. Jesus. That was the sound of Spook reassembling himself.
Yeah.
Well, the sooner that we break out this tower and have a long rest, the sooner Tala can have another lovely dream. There you go.
Oh, that's cute.
Try us.
By all means, sleep.
Tala is not the same as Delmara. She is not afraid to go to sleep. Delmara was.
I know that. I know that. I'm very careful with how I play my villain cards, as you well know by now.
Oh, yes.
I'm a very cautious villain card player.
Gotta give the little...
I still have a full hand, more or less, this far into the game.
That's impressive, to be honest.
I mean, the ones that I've played are dead, but...
I mean, yeah, if anything, that's why you keep them so close in your hand, because the moment that they're put on the table, they get chomped.
It's just like feeding them to a shredder.
A furry shredder.
But a fucking one. Just because she's currently in play. To be fair, how many do I have on the hypothetical Yu-Gi-Oh field right now? Like 3?
Well, the main one is Edmund. He was the first
Edmund.
one.
Edmund's up.
He was the first one to sort of make an appearance but then get away, whereas all of the others were like, haha, here we are, smush.
In the protracted Yu-Gi-Oh analogy I have created for myself, I have played a spell card to return him to my hand.
You've paid his retreat cost, I see.
Yes. This is where we make multiple trading card game jokes. The other one only tangentially understands.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have retreat costs or an equivalent as far as I'm aware.
No. You can make that happen, but not through a payment.
Yeah.
Because Yu-Gi-Oh does not have necessarily a currency.
I believe in Pokemon anyway, it's pretty rare for people to use the retreat cost because there are item cards.
There are easier ways to do that.
There are-
I
yeah.
have played a little bit of
Yeah,
Pokemon.
there are item cards which are preferable because obviously retreat costs generally cost energy, whereas there are item cards that tend to be
Yeah.
just like put your Pokemon on the bench for free. So it's like, yeah.
I had a Pokemon in my deck who could retreat more or less for free, but I can't remember why or how.
Some Pokemon do have a 0 retreat cost. They're generally not very strong, but that tends to be their strength, and that they can just retreat for free.
It was one of those. I seem to remember it was like one of those ones where the evolution was pretty strong. So like, if I got stuck where I couldn't draw the evolution, I would just keep retreating.
That old chestnut.
Yeah. God, this idea is so cool. I need to make this into something. I might read you guys the first paragraph of this just so you can understand. I wrote this in September of last year. And it's like, it's definitely something. You know? Yeah, I wrote this in June of last year, sorry. But the first paragraph of it, it's about 2 pages long. But the first paragraph goes like this. This, they said, is the vault, the end of things, the tapestry, heaven, the eternal remembrance. We have had many names. I felt my mind strain against its own ability to perceive space. We were walking on nothing but stars that twisted and turned past curiosities like museum exhibits. I felt as though my eyes could see much further than they should have been, everything drawing upwards to a horizon point I could somehow see as clearly as though it were right in front of me. If I looked one way, I saw a swarm of spectral silver hummingbirds pulling long golden thread from the boughs of a tree, spinning it into small gleaming apples. In another, I saw a great-grandfather clock, its ticking parts spilled around it in all directions, cracking and repairing as quickly as it could. There were small loop-tailed monkeys peeling apart pomegranates filled with joy and laughter, carefully sorting them into ornate clay pots. "What is it all for?" I asked, breathless and echoing. "Remembering," they replied, "but that's not why you are here."
What the fuck? You'll just spit that out and just be like, I don't know what to do with this. It's like, Jesus Christ.
There is more to it, but I don't...
Fucking A.
Again, I have a lot of these visionettes. They don't necessarily go anywhere. To be fair, I did kind of know where this is going, but the idea is so much. What, like it's hard?
Yeah, you literally just did. You literally just what like it's harder.
I don't mean to.
Soup!
I didn't apologize.
You implied an apology.
God, yeah, I do remember what the idea of this was. It amuses me that I wrote this in first person, considering I notoriously hate that.
Life is full of surprises.
Mm. Yeah, that's definitely an entire thing, but that is going somewhere else. I don't know where that is. Fuck. That's nothing. Actually, I'm gonna give that one. I'm gonna give that document a name so that I actually don't keep opening it, being like, "Oh yeah, I should make something out of that." That's okay. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea. And Spotify finally loaded.
Yay!
I was like, oh shit, I need to change the music, but my phone stopped updating. Open Spotify. There's a menu. Also, my UI updated that you were talking about, and I also hate it.
Yeah.
I also hate it on
Validation!
mobile. I also hate that on mobile they've changed how your library works now. I hate that. Oh, it's also in browser. I hate this.
It's just, ugh.
Why would you? It was in sections. Why did you take all the sections out? I want to know, like, what data they can see about the typical Spotify user that makes it think that everyone on Spotify just wants all their songs that they like or albums that they like to be in like one playlist. You know, like, for something that's so playlist focused, I don't know why you would go to, so on mobile, for those of you who don't use it, now like everything you've liked, so I liked album, I liked playlist, like songs, are all in one menu, like chronologically.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make any sense. Who uses Spotify that way? I don't know anyone who does. And it also shows me all my playlists in alphabetical order, not in the order most recently made, or the order I have them on my browser, which is a very specific order.
Yeah.
And that upsets me.
Yeah. It's like, why would you want to have your own order? For reasons, Spotify.
I was really worried when I saw it today, because I thought for whatever reason they'd done what they do in the web version, which is you don't have playlist folders. And I was like, you cannot take my playlist folders away from me.
Don't.
Fortunately, they hadn't. But, like, if you take all these playlists that I've made out of folders, suddenly I have a situation. Because it's like when you look at my Spotify profile, it's like, you're like, how the fuck do you have so many playlists? It's because on my sidebar, I have like 5 folders, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't look at them like that.
Yeah, same. You know, I've got loads of folders as well. Got Agco folder, D&D folders, genres,
Yep.
movies,
Yep.
seasonal playlists. Things
I also have a folder called Seasonal.
God damn it.
Yeah, I have stories,
Okay.
nostalgia.
Quiet.
Okay. I
Can I
love you.
I hear I will be coming in and unplugging the internet.
You can blame
Get out of here.
You can blame
No, I will
girls.
blame you
If
entirely.
if I go thump thump thump, it's because of something that was said.
You won't even know the internet's gone off because I'll do it in the living room. So shush.
Oh, I'll
Too much
know it
better.
because everything will stop working, and then I'll come in and strangle you.
Yeah, fuck. My
Do
phone
not
is saying
deposit
no.
the cat on me.
I'm a criminal. That's what you get.
What is he doing to you?
Hey. Yeah, I have like stories, nostalgia, productivity, evil. I have a folder for evil. Hype. Seasonal colours. Other OCs. Aesthetic. Godhood is a folder.
Nice. I really wish that they would display these folders on your profile.
Yeah, me too. D&D Agco Musicals has a folder.
Yep, same. Movies
My
and shows.
D&D is the one that's out of hand.
Mine's gotten
My-
pretty extensive. Because I
My
tried to
folder has
organ.
5 subfolders, each of which have at least 3 subfolders.
Yikes. Yeah, trying to organise them by campaign, but sometimes even that's not enough.
Yeah, see, my D&D, I have PCs, OCs, session tunes, other people's Critical Role, and even that's not a very good system because, so in PCs, I also have my NPCs playlist, which should really be in my OCs playlist folder, if that makes any sense what I just said. So PCs is meant to be like all of your OCART, like OCART playlists that are not my characters.
Yeah.
But because I kind of mentally categorize A Strange Ash Menagerie as a playlist for you guys, not for me, it also goes in there. It's a mess. But it also can't really be organized any other way. Yeah, my the OCs folder is also out of hand, as you might expect. At least my NPCs folder, I've started formatting all the playlists to look the same, so it looks like a cohesive thing instead of the rest of mine, which are just a mess. Yeah, because Ceres, Astor, Fallon, the family, they all look the same. They look like a list.
Yeah.
Is Astor's public? Astor's isn't public, is it?
Don't think so.
Oh no, it is.
Oh, is
I
it?
thought it wasn't.
Yeah, Sadie, I know.
Right, what's going on, right? Oh yeah, I remember. That's why I was on Spotify. Mental recount. Where is my cottagecore playlist? Because that's what this needs. Alternatively, my Feywild playlist would work. Session tunes. That time may not lose you in the shattered world. There it is.
No scratching. You get chair
No
privilege.
scratch.
Chair privileges removed if you scratch.
This is the dilemma I have with Park. Screenshot link. Let's see. Oh, is it legs? I was like, this is an elaborate game of spot the difference. Legs. Toy, a little human with wings or fluffy chimera.
I don't. It's a hard one.
Yeah.
Faye is so flexible.
And I mean, it might be different from day to day. in that
Yeah,
instance,
as well.
But I do think B's legs make sense in my brain more than A's do, but that depends on whether or not that's what you want. Like, and that might just be because of how low is, and how I picture low.
Mm-hmm.
That reads more with that aesthetically.
I think also it ties in because you have both the wings and the antennae, which read as more insect-like. So adding in the legs as well kind of unifies it.
Yeah, which again,
in a sense,
if that's what you want, if you want it to be a little disjointed, I don't know if that's the word I'm looking for, but if you don't want the vibe to be that it's cohesive, then maybe you want to intentionally go away from that. I like B personally. Insight Chimera was the goal. Insight Chimera was the goal. Change it as he sees fit, go nuts.
Yeah.
That's also true. Like, don't feel like you're locking yourself into a design, because literally it's still in the character that it would be different all the time.
Yeah.
So it's not even like, oh, they could change. You could just change how you draw them, because I know that you don't think of things that way.
Yeah. He could literally wake up and decide
like,
he wants the other legs.
It's still in the character. Yeah. It still reads. Consistency is irregularity. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
Hey. Unguarded coke.
Oh fuck. Right. I'm going to be right back real quick.
Oh
You
no,
just
why?
reminded me of something.
Oh no, why?
I'll be back.
Fair enough.
I'll be just a minute.
Remind me to turn the camera on when she gets back. Yes, Sadie. It looks like you're gonna have to be my co-host now.
Wait, what the fuck? Now I'm taking my headset off.
So how are you finding this conversation this evening, Sadie? Okay, good. No, don't want anything to do with Mother. Not even little pets. Oh, can't have little pets. Hi Naren, it's going good. Kels has briefly popped off for something, don't know what. The other thing, Frog, he does try to settle him, but we've also seen that he's trying to encourage Lo to accept how unique he looks, shall we say. So maybe he himself is making himself look unique to be like, it's fine, I do it, you can do it too, sort of thing. So, again, both work. Either he can have the more normal looking one to be more normal, or he can have the more unusual one. Ooh. There we go. You are shedding so much fur. Shedding
Hello.
so much fur. Ah, hello, she returns.
I have returned.
Is all well?
Yes, everything's fine. Hello, Naren.
Look at this fluff that you have produced. shedding.
Also, my dad says hi. He told me to say hi.
Aw, I say hi back.
Every time I'm like, I gotta go, I'm talking to Blue. He's like, I'll say hi. Say hi to Blue for me.
You know, I get that a lot.
You're deep in the process, Frog. Okay.
Let's plonk that there.
What is this? What does this lady look like? I'm trying to visualize an incredibly weird person right now.
I mean, what else is new?
I've distilled myself down to my core component.
Newsflash, asshole, they've all been weird characters.
It might say something about me as a person. It's almost as if I'm very strange. Just every so often I do have that moment of like self-awareness of like, God, I'm such a weird fucking person.
I mean, same, but the main difference is that when it happened to me in school, it was full of self-loathing, but now I'm just kind of like, is me. My hand-eye coordination just fucking vanished for a minute there.
I really want to point out, just to attack you, that I really love that. Oh no, wait, I might have misinterpreted what you were doing. Mayhap I have misinterpreted what you were doing.
Please don't attack me.
I have misinterpreted what you're doing, so I will not attack you.
Okay. I am kind of curious what you thought I was doing.
I thought you were drawing feathers that were falling off.
Nope.
So I was like, I love that you were saying that you hated drawing these feathers and thus, but yet have somehow made more work drawing feathers for yourself, but
Nope.
that's not what you're doing.
This is basically a feather palette that I am pinching from.
That's genius. That is 8D chessing this.
Don't work harder, work smarter.
I love when you you start typing and the caps lock's on, so it just the word looks really odd. Little letter, big letters.
Excuse me. Right, since you have had your turn, I'm gonna go because I need to refill my water.
Understood.
Because as tempting as it is not healthy for me to just drink an entire bottle of Coke all night. Curls.
What do you think I went downstairs to get?
I know. It's fine. But I am trying to be somewhat health conscious when it comes to things like that. Yes, Sadie! Oh, she's stuck
This
again,
is a-
everybody.
Oh.
Okay, don't panic, Mother get you. Don't panic. There we go, crisis averted.
Baby.
You're such a big baby. Now you get cuddled, you're such a big baby. Oh, did you get stuck? Did you get stuck? Was you scared? Here we go. The floor got stuck. say hi to chat, Sadie? No, I do not want to.
He does constantly.
I do not want to.
It's constantly to us.
I am not going to do it on command.
I will not speak on command, only when it is inconvenient for you.
She's literally turning her head away from the camera. I'm like, do you want to look at the camera? And she's like, no, I will bury my face in your chest. Go on then, back on the chair. There you go. Do not steal my chair while I am gone. Okay. Be right back.
Oh, right. It took me a couple reads to get what you were going on about there, Das. Yes. Well, it's part of the point of having them. Like, if you've got a character that's got a... Like, I can't believe I'm the one talking about this when there's two different character designers here, one of which is AFK and one of which is in the chat. But that's part of the reason you give them those things, because it makes them distinct. It gives them character. It makes them recognizable. Because you can have a very generic-ish character design and just give them a distinct scar or deformity that really helps bring them together. I feel this way every time I... Not to make this about Dragon Age while Blue's not here, but I feel this way every time I make an elf in Dragon Age. I tend to make very generic-looking characters and then I give them distinct Valasaline and I'm like, a character. Like saying there's Deathmark, you get it. Like, yeah. I think it's a pretty common thing to do that. Like, I've definitely done it with,
Hey.
Hello. I've definitely done it with some of my characters. It's given them some kind of... We're talking about, like, giving characters deformities to make them distinct. Or, not deformities, I mean, what a bad word to use, but unique physicality. So scars or... You know.
Yes, yes, I am very familiar.
Yes.
Chin scratch.
Gestures.
It was only little, but it was there.
Yeah, because that's what I was saying. Like, because Das was like, "Thank God they have this scar because you can see who they are," and I'm like, "That's the point."
Me.
Chin scratch. Because yeah, I definitely think about that when I'm quote unquote designing characters. I don't design them in quite a way Blue and Frog do, but when I'm coming out with characters, I try and give them little... I'm trying to get better at this actually, because especially when I'm DMing, I can forget. But little things about their physicality that are unique to them.
I mean, I try to think about that.
Well, of course you do. Gestures are everything you do. That's your whole thing.
You know what? I freaking love dinosaurs. What if I made a kobold that was also my favourite dinosaur? Aww, thanks, Stas. She's actually smiling.
They give you the pencil. That's literally what this is for.
Saves.
This is just an excuse for you to book time to make things.
Yeah.
That's literally all we do it for.
Yeah.
It's just a way of putting on a calendar that we're gonna make things in this time slot.
Yeah, but
So
that's one of those
we make it
things
so
that, like,
history.
I see in, like, videos that people do of like, oh, here's 10 tips on how to get better. One of the things that people say is like, if you want to get better, then you have to set aside time to do stuff. You're not going to magically get better. You have to work at it. So as soon as
we enforced it.
yes, so like this is the day at this time that we are going to do this. So we're at least doing it once a week. If we want to do it outside of here, we're free to, but we're at least doing it once a week.
This is the mandatory slot. Not a word, but I don't care. I want it to be. It is a word?
Magical.
Sick. I love not having to invent vocabulary. Oh wait, no. No, it doesn't.
I was like,
Well, it doesn't with that spelling, but then if you change the spelling, does that change the meaning of the word? Fuck it, I'm using it this way, and not even God can stop me.
I inadvertently copy that layer. I did. How did I manage that? In your eyes.
But yeah. Little. So you're good at this, Blue, but I'm trying to improve on it, is the little character detail like that. Little things that make them very distinct.
Thank you.
I really wish the thing I chose to make this time slot wasn't making myself salty at Rocket League. That's in your power to change.
I thought you were supposed to be like doing mini painting or something. That was something got mentioned months ago.
You did it a couple times actually, to be fair.
I mean, it is something that I try to do, like, I feel like maybe, like, 10 years ago I was less conscious about it, but that was because I had less characters, but now that I have so many more characters, I feel aware that in myself I need to make them different from one another, which gets harder and harder. It gets harder and harder the more characters I make.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that with, like, NPCs, for example. It's like, okay, how do I make this different from a character that's similar to this personally? How do I make them visually and in presentation different? Which is very difficult when you get to the number of characters that me and you have. So things like scars, birthmarks or freckles or whatever can do some of that work for you.
But so does
nice.
body language.
So does body language, which is obviously hard.
Hard via camera, which is it's because that was always something that was key to a lot of my role playing back when I did my homebrew game. Like, I don't think I could do my homebrew game online. I've gotten used to doing, like, I did Lost Mines and gotten used to doing Storm Kings. I don't think I could do my homebrew game online just because so many of the NPCs I made were very visual in how I acted them.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't come across online.
Yeah. I'm definitely getting better at it. If we're being positive.
Heck
I'm
yes.
definitely getting better at it. I just had to add 19 years to a continent. That's very fair. I'm doing minis, just not tonight. Very fair. Yeah, and I think as well, I have the benefit of I've played with the same group of people for forever. So you guys are getting more in tune with how I do physicality in characters. So I'm getting better at the same time you're getting more used to me. So it just kind of works.
Yeah. It's like you as a DM practice doing new things, but then the players themselves also have to practice picking up on it. In the same way of the two curves of being an artist, of like, it's not just you getting better at art, but you getting better at perceiving art, which are two different skills that increase independently of one another.
And sometimes they can interact in a positive way, and sometimes they can interact in a negative way. In both of those examples. Yeah. I don't know why I'm pretending I don't just want to listen to this one song.
And I didn't even message you on Friday. I was going to message you on Friday after I finished Game 2 D&D to be like, oh, now the D&D gods have said it's my turn for character thoughts.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because of course, as I am wont to do, I wrote backstory, and me and AJ came up with backstory together. And honestly, it was partially due to the pandemic lockdown, and when I could go to work for a long period of time, I couldn't like sit with people. And AJ bless her was like always the one who would keep me company. Like the others would come out as well, but sometimes the others would be like, oh, it's a bit too cold, I'm going to go in when we got into the winter months. But AJ sort of always tried to push and sit outside. She'd put on a jumper and sit with me, which I greatly appreciated. But it also meant that we could have conversations in private about backstory. So we sat and wrote backstory in the garden in the middle of winter. And 6 months later, it's coming to fruition. She sprinkles, literally says a single word in a conversation that literally, and then my character's like, I have to leave. I have to leave.
Yep.
And because a little bit like Dalmara, Ariash is a bit like that. It's like okay, I'm walking away from the situation. Yep. So the other character,
I sure can't relate to that.
Yeah. So she's quite a quiet person generally. Ariash Ariash keeps to herself, being a drow and stuff. And the others are having God, there's so much context, but how much context can I give briefly? It's a very naval campaign, as I've said before. We've shipwrecked on an island. That's a whole other kettle of fish of being shipwrecked on an island, which is great. But we managed to, we've killed a freaking crocodile again. Don't ask, but we managed to kill a crocodile, and we're like, brilliant, we've actually got some food to have, minus the handful of characters that are vegetarians who are still sticking to that. But my concern is we're running out of vegetarian-friendly food. But we've got a campfire going, and the bard is like, God, you guys are a sorry state. Let's have a bit of a to-do. Let's get going. Have a knees up. Starts playing his violin. And, all the characters start dancing around. And so I'm there playing this drow amongst humans, and I'm just sort of like, no, I don't know how to dance. I don't know. And
I don't care. I know you can.
No, not even that. And Max, bless her, obviously her character is, he likes my character. Max is playing a character who likes mine. And he's a little nerdy artificer boy. He's so sweet. I love him so much. And I'm so sorry that he has fallen in love with my bitch of a character.
I feel that.
I feel so sorry for him that he's fallen for her. But he literally scooches over to her in the sand, just sort of like sitting cross-legged, just like, oh, you don't know how to dance? That's okay. I don't know how to dance either. And so we're both awkwardly sat in the sand, not dancing, and just kind of talking amongst ourselves, just being like, oh, well, I was raised a soldier, so there's, dancing is not on the agenda of useful skills to learn. And it's like, oh, well, I was always just in the workshop working on things. So, it's not really you. So we're both there just being awkward as hell.
Oh God.
and then AJ steps forward with Max's character's brother, who has turned up to be a brother. Offers his hand to Ariash.
Be a pain.
Yeah, offers his hand to Ariash and goes, "May I have this dance?" And of course, I'm just sort of like, "Oh, I don't really know how to dance. You know, that's not my thing." And of course, it's like, "Oh, come on, you're quite fleet of foot, quite nimble. I'm sure you'll get it. Just follow my lead." And I'm just like, "Okay." I begrudgingly take his hand, and now we're in this really awkward.
Already loving this setup. I love this setup
It's
already.
so
There's so
awkward.
many dynamics that I love that are happening.
So now my character's dancing with Max's character's brother while she's watching. and we're there, and I'm obviously in roleplay brain at the moment, and I'm just like, okay, so, and AJ's describing of like, you know, he puts his arm around your waist, he grabs your arm, and you know, sort of takes up the position, and I say, like, well, I just kind of stand there because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I just kind of stand there like a plank, and she says, okay. He gently kind of tilts you into its turns, and he's like, you know, you need to spin, and I just sort of go, as we're like role-playing this out.
Brilliant. Love it. Carry on.
Oh, God. So that's the scene setup of what is happening. Now, I don't know if you remember talking about distinctive marks. Ariash got a mark on her face.
Oh, yes.
I did not put
yes.
it. I did not put it there. It was put there against my will, but now she has a mark on her face.
Standard AJ Max.
Uh-huh. Yes, as it goes. So, there was a person in Ariash's backstory who was a human. He is the reason that she knows how to speak Common. He is also the reason that she is no longer with Drow Society. Because it was her task. He was a captured captain. Her task was to, quote-unquote, fake befriend him, get information out of him, throw him away when they were done. Of course, it didn't work out like that.
It didn't go that way, yeah.
Didn't
no.
work out that way. She actually befriended him, and he taught her loads of stuff about how, you know, humans are, and, you know, how different it is from the Drow world and stuff like that, and they actually liked each other. Obviously that ended really, really sadly, because she is no longer with Drow Society. Yeah, it boils down to, there is a thing in Drow law. There is a ceremony which requires a Drow to kill a surface dweller. Given Ariash's predetermined future, she was born and raised to be a soldier, and she was born and raised to become a captain. So she was destined for greatness. So it was like, you need to kill someone important. Here is a human captain. Captain for captain. And she couldn't bring herself to do it because they'd gotten so close. But then he was like, "You've told me how Drow Society are. You have to kill me, otherwise they'll just kill you. You have to keep on living. You have to keep on living." And she was like, so she did it. And then she left and ran away. And his name was Captain Flavian Hawthorne. So, fast forward X amount of years later, we're on the beach having a dance with potential love interest's brother, who spins me around on the sand and says, "You know what? I haven't had a good look at your face since the incident because we've been so busy running away from freaking pirates and getting shipwrecked. But that sort of mark on your face, you know what it looks like? It looks like the branch of a hawthorn tree." And that was when it was like record scratched, and I was just like,
Bye.
Yeah.
Peace. I'm out.
I was like, she stops, she literally skids to a halt in the sand, she lets go, she says, "I can't," and walks off into the night, away from the campfire on the deserted island. And like, literally, like the last thing before the session ends is Max standing up on her character going, why did you have to do that? And going after her. And then AJ's like, "We're ending there." And I'm like,
Perfect. AJ knows. That's exactly where you end that. Oh. There's so many levels of things I like there.
because Arias is still in Arias.
Stacks and stacks of it.
We've been playing this campaign for like 2 years now, and we are still in the stages of nobody knows anything about Ariash's history. Because Ariash is not talkative, she doesn't want to talk about it. And and also she hasn't even been asked about it by anybody. Nobody's asked her why she is here. A drow on the surface. Nobody is asked.
Yeah.
So literally, finally, just in 2 years, AJ is doing the whole making a situation to bring it forward. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm gonna have to do a whole damn monologue next week.
That's a real thing. When you know you're gonna have to monologue or explain it, like, it just eats your brain alive for a week.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Not to mention the whole twist that happened at the end as well, which was some of the other characters while all that was happening looked off to the side, and I'm going to condense what was a very, sort of a 15-minute segment into, the forest on the island where we have been shipwrecked has moved closer.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Some lost shit.
Yeah. Because one of the dancers tripped over a tree root, and they're like, "Oh, we must have accidentally got closer to the trees." And they sort of pause and look, and they go, "No, we're exactly where
the trees got closer to us."
Trees got closer to us. And I'm like, "There's too much going on right now."
Love it. I love everything about it. Yes. If I could walk up AJ, I'd be like, "Good work." Good work, carry on.
Yeah. And we put lots of thought into it. Flavian Hawthorne.
I love the name. I love Hawthorne as the surname, by the way.
That was AJ's idea.
Just in general.
That was AJ's idea, which obviously is not surprising because she was the one who put the mark on my face, so obviously it was something that she'd thought of before.
Yeah.
I was the one who thought up his first name because Flavian is, I can't remember what language it is, probably Latin or something, but
it is.
It ties to meaning golden haired, and Ariash is a drow name for silver bow, who she has silver hair.
Hey.
So they are gold and silver.
Hey. I feel like if me, you, and AJ Das sat down together, the universe would explode or Blue would die. One of those two things would happen.
You know I've lived in fear of that for many years. I've always kept an eye on you in Coxcon.
With a coffee each, just like, so.
I've always kept an eye on you at Coxcon. If you see the two of you drifting towards the table out of the corner of my eye, I just sort of looking over going, "What you doing over there?" And AJ's like, "Nothing."
I feel like all of those conversations have happened independently, but I don't think that us three of us have been together.
Yes, it's almost as if someone is trying to prevent that from happening.
Sabotaging it.
Just like, "Oh, hey, Dash, can I talk to you for a minute?" Yeah, I think my knees gave out when that happened.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't handle this, I'm being bullied. Have you had an accident in the workplace recently?
Was it their fault? See, the kind of, I don't know if this is the awful thing about Mara's voice, quote unquote, as much as it is it's not just my voice. Like, it's not a mile away from how I normally talk. It's what she says.
Oh yes.
It's what she talks about and how she talks about it.
Yeah, a good voice doesn't need to be a voice.
Yeah.
A good voice doesn't need to be a voice. It's about tone and mannerism.
Also, funny thing. This that I'm wearing, this top, is like my. It's the closest thing I have to basically what Mara wears in my head. Obviously, I'm wearing a cardigan over the top of it, but more or less this. Especially this color. This is basically Mara's. Well, I mean, color scheme is this blue and this and black.
Mm-hmm.
This is very. If this had a higher collar, this would basically be Amara.
Yeah, it was hard for me doing that sketch because as soon as I started to sketch her in, I was like, I have no idea what her clothes are like. Because I am a very visual person and will heavily depend on having a visual reference more than a written reference.
Mara has two clothing styles.
I know her colours.
Generally, yes. Were you there when we had that talk about colours? Was that me, Das, and Kay?
I know we've had a conversation about colours.
Yeah, I think the thing what
So I know we've had a conversation, but I don't know if I was privy to the one that you're thinking of.
Where I was talking about how all the cities in the Rustings are color coded for me.
No, I don't think I was there for that one.
No, this was the thing that I thought you guys knew, but why would you? Yeah, I know you were there for that, Das. I think Kay was too. No, it's because we were getting ready for Oak-Heart, and I got out my orange dice, and I was like, oh, I have to use my orange dice because that's Josiah's colour, and they were like, what? Yeah, well, Blue knows this about me anyway, but I'm a very colour-based person. So, yes, all the cities in the Rustings are colour-coded, as are most of the people.
I mean,
most of my NPCs have a colour.
I get that. I have colours associated with things, which often then evolves into dice.
Yes. But yeah, Josiah's orange. Meganhold, depending on when you ask me, is either white or pink. No, Meganhold, sorry. Farnsmore. It's either white and pink. Meganhold is this blue, more or less. Sepper's Head is dark green. Malin Hath is dark brown. Generally. But then the Rustings on the whole is also kind of burnt orange. It's a long story. I have each of the countries are color coded. All cities are color coded, but also the countries are color coded. Continents are color coded. But yeah, definitely characters of colors. And yeah, these are Mara's. But yeah, Mara in dreams mostly is in very formal dresses. At the moment, anyway.
Watch her wardrobe miraculously change after you get to watch that Scary Game Squad video.
Oh no, please, she would never wear white.
No, I meant more in style than colour.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I have a very specific visual for Mara, as you might expect for someone who's been in my head so long.
Yes.
I have tried to articulate this once before, but it didn't go very well.
Yeah.
It's...
Yeah. I think in that clip she literally says, "You've dirtied my dress," and then keeps on walking.
Yeah, she does. I find what little I know about her very funny with Mara. It amuses me immensely.
Well, you guys saw the clip of like the mocap and stuff that I linked on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, because I remember them had first tweet as being like, "Surprise! I did the mocap for," and I remember seeing that. But then the actual footage of it is.
I mean, I love.
Mocap's weird to watch.
I love watching mocap.
It's fun, yeah.
I mean, I say I really want to do it. I did briefly put on a mocap and play with the mocap that our university had.
Yeah.
But that was quite a basic setup, and it was literally like playing around with it. Like I wasn't using it for a project or anything. It was literally it was I think it was someone in the year above me was using it for a project that they were doing. I wasn't in class at the time, so I'd literally come down to say hi because they were my friend.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we're just about to finish up because we're done for the day. Do you want to have a go and like see the movement?" So it was literally I put on the suit and then they showed me the screen and I just sort of wiggled about a bit, but they didn't like film anything or anything because they were all done.
Yeah.
But yeah, God, because I'm really fascinated with mocap because again I'm quite a physical person, as I've said with like my characters in my homebrew game. So like I try to physically emulate movements and stuff, which I think, you know, in my mind it's one of those things where I think I'd be good at it, but obviously I don't know until I do it. But I like to think I would be good at it because people have complimented me before on it at the table. But also, in this day and age, we are rapidly getting closer and closer to people to just being able to do that at home. Like, people already can, because VR headsets are basically now becoming mocap suits.
The thing for your hips and your elbows and everything.
Yeah, they have
things
for things. But I've seen ones that, you know, they have there's like the most recent HTC has eye trackers in it, and has like a little attachment to track your mouth. So I've seen like a video that I think I retweeted of someone literally just doing a little sing along with their VR chat avatar, and literally like the eyes and the mouth are just in sync.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. So in my mind, I'm like, the technology is not too far away that you could literally just, if you knew how to model, like I do, you could make a model of a character, rig it, and then act out a scene in your VR headset like a mocap suit, and then you just have you don't need to know how to animate. You could maybe know how to tweak it a little bit, but if you know how to use the system in your VR headset, you could just make a scene and act out the characters in your bedroom. And I want to do that so bad. I really want to.
That's good shit.
I think being a mocap person is one of those sort of things where I'd like, yeah, that'd be such a cool thing to do. I'd love to do it.
Yeah. Oh, you'd have a great time.
Yeah. I love watching mocap actors.
Yeah.
But also, parallel to this conversation, can we acknowledge that little scene that we linked is one of the best tropes in anything, which is the joy of a villain having a massive rage about the protagonist, only for the protagonist to be like hidden, like literally behind a small shelf or something, and and the protagonist just being like fuck, but the villain has no idea they're there.
Yeah,
absolutely no idea, and then they just walk away, and then like the protagonist just kind of like peeps their head up, just like, are they gone?
Yeah.
I love
it
trope.
when they do it from all the way from like horror like that all the way through to when they do it in cartoons to reveal the villain's plans. Like, I love that shit in every context, every version of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love moments like that of just someone just like hidden and just like right behind them.
I think this probably, you probably know this about me even though I've never articulated it. I do just also love when you get little windows into the villains, and that they're not like they're always reacting to things the protagonists are doing.
Oh, yes.
Like, I love it in cartoons when you have things where the villains are just talking to each other. I love it in the Dragon Age comics when they do that at the moment. I love that shit. Villain cutaways were always my favourite, even though every time I see the phrase "meanwhile in Garlemald," I lose about 3 years of my life. Literally, Thancred in certain cutscenes, yeah.
Yeah, Das, it could be. I wonder if there's got to be a technology, because you know how people can rip models from games. It must be possible to like rip the mocap data, the rigging data, because it's all data.
You would know more about that, maybe.
It's all data at the end of the day. You know, how, because like people mod in models and replace them, so in theory you could just like replace a model and like use the mocap data and put your own characters in it.
Das, my sweet summer child, do you know how many files I have? I already have. I don't know if I have an Oakhart scene left where I haven't already written it.
Das, just really reminder, you've only been privy to one of the dreams that Tala has had. That was not the first time that she has seen her. It's the first time she spoke to her.
It's the first time Tala's either tried to or been able to respond.
Yeah, tried to or been able to. Because in previous times she's tried to open her mouth and nothing's come out.
Which has some interesting connotations.
It does.
I know, Das.
We know. Hey, you know, if Tala's gonna stand on balconies and, you know, continue to scream profanities, eventually she's gonna get a reaction.
Yeah.
Stands on a balcony and goes, "I'ma fucking do it again! Salty bitch!"
Something in the water, Blue. Just jump after it.
Oh, I don't like that.
Everyone disliked that.
Everyone disliked that.
Yeah, I remember very distinctly Tala waking up having murdered the princess of the fucking Grasslands only to laugh her ass off like a maniac.
One of my better moments, I will say.
One of the few things I have scripted.
One of my finer moments.
Possibly the most horrific thing you've ever done. Potentially.
I'd agree to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it wasn't
You
planned.
guys
It was
don't
planned.
know what I said.
It was planned. It was
but-
just me. It was purely. It wasn't planned. It was just me reacting to what you had done. And what you had done was planned because you said that you'd wrote it out, but you didn't know how I was going to react. And yeah, that was an in the moment thing.
Yeah. Like, you guys, that's the thing. That reaction disturbs you. You guys don't know what I said. The fact that what I said was what I said makes it so much worse.
Yeah, she's got context.
Like, what a thing
to wake up and just start laughing and just
laugh
go
at.
to laugh and just be like. And what was what? I think my words were
So
she's.
bad.
I think my words were she's so pissed.
Yeah.
She's fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Die angry, bitch.
Die angry. Oh.
Woof. Tala, you are a piece of work.
Tala really is. That was a character defining moment in my head for Tala. It takes a very specific kind of person who is like, I think I built things off of that because it takes a very specific kind of, and don't take this the wrong way, it takes a very specific kind of damage to laugh at that information.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
to hear information that is on every level.
I think that was the first time
at
where
it.
everybody looked at Tala and went, "Oh, you're actually fucked up."
Yeah, you're a little gone. Good King Moogle intensifies. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I try not to. I've said this on stream before, but I try not to script things. But sometimes it's like, if I try and say this is important, and if I say it, I'm gonna say it wrong, so I'm just gonna write it.
Yeah. Important information needs to be said.
Yeah, it was also delicate, and I didn't want to deliver it wrong.
Mhm.
You know what that means, but no one else does.
I know. Again, just laughed.
Fuck.
I just laughed.
Again, we are once again saying, what the fuck? This is not the song I would want to be listening to for this conversation. It's fucking, what song is this? White Winter Hymnal by Fleet Foxes.
can't remember if I asked you for. I think I asked for a copy of what you said from my notes.
You did. I believe you have it.
Road folder. Ah, yes, there it is. Session 89.
89. I'm once again asking for someone to put a stop to this.
I'm rereading it now.
It's bad. We're just taunting you, chat, with things that you cannot know.
I'm so sorry, chat. Maybe one day we'll send this to you and you can read it.
Maybe one day I'll have to deliver it again. Ugh.
Do it, Tyler needs another laugh.
I meant out of character, you dingus.
Just taunting her now.
Ah, I can see. There's an anonymous chipmunk in this talk.
We're both rereading it.
Fuck, I can't even read it back, it's so fucked up. Okay. Ugh. Mara's something.
Sure
She's
is.
something else. She is evil. Like,
It's funny how I seem to have this knack of gravitating pure evil towards me. I've done it twice.
comic opposites. You have to. You're so much pure, like concentrated good being energy that you have to. Comically, you have to balance it out by creating more awful.
I just attract badness.
To be fair, in this case, it's stuff that we made because of you, because
Yes.
you asked us to do this. To be fair, I would have done this anyway. I did. You just enabled me. You enabled me to make it about you. I would have done it with or without your permission. I have a lot of thoughts about Oakhart at the moment, and simultaneously no thoughts.
No thoughts, head empty.
No thoughts head empty to some extent. It's because every single week crazy shit happens that I'm like, to some extent, I can't prepare for this. We got distracted again, Blue, because we both
Yeah,
stopped doing what we were doing.
I sort of became aware that I hadn't touched the drawing for a good few minutes. So I opened this drawing at 9 o'clock. It is now 10:30, and
Half 10.
I've probably done about 5 feathers.
If it makes chat feel better, there are other documents in here that certain other people know that Blue doesn't.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts.
What the fuck? What is this file? Okay, this is the last one I'm going to open, and then closing this file. Oh, this was an idea for a system that I didn't end up using. I originally had a whole plan for that I didn't end up using because I thought it'd be a bit silly, but maybe I'll repurpose it. Where I was gonna run the ball event like a combat. It was interesting. It was an interesting system that I was making, but it just didn't feel right in the end. But it was an interesting one that I was writing it out. But that's when there was going to be a lot more pieces to it. Which didn't end up happening because of certain other things that happened. I would wait to write that until the event is finished, shall we say. Sorry if you can hear my stomach. I might have a snake. God, I wish that were me. You have stuff that only you are privy to in my campaign. But then, to be fair, Thane has a tendency, whereas Tyler and Zal don't tell anyone.
Yep.
Don't communicate it well. You'll have something like that happen and Thane will tell everyone straight away. Because it's important that you're all on the same page. Same with Hurry. Hurry will have like weird things happen just to Hurry, and Hurry immediately tells everyone. Not necessarily well, but in that way that Hurry does. We Give Thanks is not in character knowledge. I mean in character knowledge. We Give Thanks is just me writing about my world.
I always love the polarizing differences between Thane and Tala.
Because of that, I'm trying to remember blanking. You've had multiple Tenor streams. It's one example. True. But you get what I mean, like, Thane tends to share that the minute he wakes up, which is probably better.
Probably a good thing.
I think you meant documents like writing stuff. Like, no, so what Bloom has there, that's not a thing I've written. That was a thing I said in character.
Yeah, it's technically a transcript, is what it is. It's not like a fic or something, it's a transcript.
Yeah. There are other little transcripts is a bit of a... I haven't written anything out to the extent I wrote that thing out. But I have other notes from other dream sequences, hidden exchanges that are for other characters in here. So I have stuff to do with Zal in here, for example. That makes so much more sense. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, notes on things that only certain characters are privy to.
Yeah. Quickly does Control Shift Tab to revive tab. Yeah, I have got a fix folder.
Written you a fix.
Yeah, I've got a fix folder for Tala, but it has three things in there. One is written by Curls for me. One is even I called it. I've put it in the fix because I didn't know where to put it. One is our roleplay that we did. Das is in there, and one is one that I started, but I don't think I've actually finished it.
Probably not. You have nothing to do with Al. He has no dreams or secrets. Shh.
Yeah.
Of course not.
No, I think this is unfinished. Yeah, they're like, yeah, I did the curls tip of the last sentence is an unfinished sentence. So I know it's not.
Just pick it back up.
I mean, the first sentence is always great. She always remembered the screams.
Hey!
That's the first sentence.
That sounds about right. It's a different skill set, Das.
Yeah,
so
it's entirely different.
So different.
Obviously, it's just evident, really. You know, with writing, you can be more descriptive in both what you say, but you can also literally write down the character's thoughts if you want. You can write down the motions again. Physical movement is important in acting, which doesn't always come across on webcam and in the moment.
Yeah, and also punctuation can do a lot for you.
Yes.
Like, in how you structure a sentence, I know this is gonna sound really English student pretentious, but like, in how you structure a sentence when you're writing an RP, that can communicate quite a lot. Where you put ellipses, where you make sentences really short. In real life, you have to do that with the way you speak, which is, I think, one of the hardest things to change. Because physicality, you can like mentally override to be like, change the way you're physically doing this, but the way you normally structure sentences is incredibly hard to change.
A good example of that with me is Ariash, because she is so quiet, and it comes across from time to time, thankfully, and like, you know, AJ says like, oh, she gets it, and I'm glad she does, because I sometimes become aware that because she's a quiet person, not just in like, oh, she doesn't like talking about herself, she's just in herself a quiet person.
Yeah.
She will, like, when we're role playing at the table, it was quite often where like an NPC would say something to her, and my response would be fold arms, stare. And that would be the response. Having switched to an online tabletop with a group that doesn't use cameras, I've totally lost that, and it's really rough, and it leads to quite a lot of awkward pauses where I'm doing the same thing, where it's like an MP says, "Oh, and what have you found me this time?" And I'm instinctively like, well, what I would do is I would just sort of blink at them, and I would turn to someone else at the table to respond. And then I sort of have to remind myself of like, I haven't got a camera, I can't do that, so there's like this slight pause. There's the slight pause, and I'm like, I need to narrate this, but then somebody sort of, by then it's been like 5 seconds and someone's actually realised, oh, I'm not speaking. It leads to a lot of pauses, but AJ just say that she's like, oh no, I get that is intentional, and and I'm like, okay, I'm glad that it's like it's not awkward for people, because that's how she's meant to be.
Definitely, and you do pick things up as you argue with people more. Definitely.
Yeah.
God knows I'm attuned to your fucking body language when you're RPing, whether I want to be or not.
I'm in your brain.
Yeah.
It's fine because you're in mine.
Gross.
Yeah, it's
How
not
dare
great.
I exist
Yeah,
at
it's
the
not
moment.
great in here, I'll be honest. At least it's not lonely.
There's too much to unpack there. We don't have time to unpack all of that. Ooh.
What?
What do you say, Blue?
I guess mail them, because I don't know when I'm going to be on, because I'm on Pokemon Snap Hype. So Final Fantasy's probably going to be on the back burner, so I'm probably going to fall behind everybody even more.
That's fine. There is no schedule. We're not expecting shit of you.
Yeah, every spare moment will probably be picking up Snap. So I guess mail them to me. Thank you. Hell yes. Diable sugar.
Yeah, there is a real adjustment to RPing on a camera, because you have to exaggerate everything so much.
Yeah, we've learnt to sort of adapt to that.
Yeah.
But like I've said, it's rough trying to do it without a camera.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah, when my camera's not working, I really struggle. because especially, and I know there are other people in
Excuse me?
chat that struggle with this, but like sometimes, yeah, we were just talking about this. Like there are little non-verbal things that you can do on camera that you can't do when you're off camera.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at him.
Oof.
I love his little snaggletooth.
No. They're going in the company chest. Understood. Fortunately, no one else in the company plays Dragoon, so no one will take it. Blue is only Dragoon. Exa only Dragoon.
That's Dragoon.
Just Dragoon. Only Dragoon.
Yes. Dye it in so many ridiculous colours.
Oh, I just remembered I have something I need to go. Okay.
Because I have the default one, which I have the default the Worms mail, which is black,
Classic.
which is what Estinian has as well, and then they give you the Draken mail, which is the blue because Azure Dragoon.
Yeah.
And then I got dyeable, so I could dye it red or gold or silver. Obviously, I'm gonna wear the blue a lot because it's her colours, but it's nice that I can have alternate colours with the Dragoon armour, which I really wanted.
No one else wants that, anyway. I got two options. Okay, is one of them called the twinning by any chance? Hypothetically.
Mayhap.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I have something for you, by the way, Kay, next time I'm online, which will probably be Friday. Twinning is the best one. It kind of is. Yeah, there's a lot of dungeons on back burner because I've asked a lot of people to wait for me and I can't play till Friday, I'm sorry! Friday for Amigo? Yes, 100%.
Yeah. One of the
Friday I
reasons
will not be online. Fuck!
one of the reasons that I am heavily into Snap is that the courses are reasonably short, so I can just pick up and play. Whereas Final Fantasy, it is like, I want to sit down and play this for like a good chunk of time, and I don't really have those big chunks of time right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, it also owns my ass, so I have no choice. Yeah. It owns my butt. Probably for the foreseeable future. Although apparently there's a fucking EA play coming up, so maybe a new Dragon Age game. Not for another year, at least. At least. At the absolute bare minimum of time. Hopefully not for a while. There's some good names. Fenrir Jormungandr is pretty good. My brain is going too quickly for the rest of me.
so many VODs that I need to shift over.
Yeah.
I have gone way behind on them. Gotten a little out of hand.
What? Phone finished updating, and it looks different.
Changes.
It's all central down the middle. Don't know if I like that.
Does my phone have an update?
Also, yes, that is my phone background for people in chat.
I didn't see what that was.
It's a thing from the Dark Knight Quest. It's a really gorgeous piece of art off Twitter of the level 70 Dark Knight Quest. And it just is, that's Frey, that's missed. It just says, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you, I forgive you.
Aw.
It's such a moment. 70 Quest, yeah. It's so, it hurt. It's so emotional, yeah.
My software is up to date, apparently. Fair enough.
Why do I have so many notifications? Who the fuck? Oh, they've changed they've changed all my menus. Ah!
Mm-mm.
Ah! I don't like it. Right? It's the full oh my god, what is it? Tries to poison I was gonna say Bruce Banner, that's so not his name. Bruce Wayne, but it's actually Superman pretending to be Bruce Wayne.
Yes.
That fucking comic.
Yeah. No, you ruined Bruce Wayne's shirt.
Fuck it. So funny. Sorry, I'm gone. Just sword broke.
Sir Burke. You go bye-bye. Flick.
Oh, that's so fucking funny. Giggling about that for the next 25 minutes. Wow, I haven't listened to this song in a little while. I'm not making much progress on this, but I'm not feeling too hot, so I'll just vibe.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not feeling too hot, then we can wrap it up, because it's getting kind of late anyway.
Yeah. Do what you gotta do, I'll just vibe for a bit.
Yeah, well, if you want, we can take the stream down and just vibe for a few minutes before bed anyway, as we are wont to do occasionally.
That does happen, generally. That is true, yeah. It's like, oh, it's public knowledge that I'm not a paladin? Bitch, you thought. You're all hard to destroy. I've been trying.
I've
I'm
literally
working on it.
built my character around won't fucking die.
Too stubborn to die.
I
Too
can't-
angry to die, honestly.
I can't die, I've got shit to do. Okay,
Is that when he died that one time?
Alright.
If Tala fucking dies, I will kill her. That's a threat. That is a threat you should take seriously.
Okay, let's finish up with Ix. I think they only need a few more tail feathers, and then I can cool the feathers down. At least Ix, at least this picture of Ix will stand over forever, a reminder to never draw individual feathers again.
Yep.
Right, okay. Right, we're gonna end the stream, guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna chill and vibe for a few minutes. And just wait.
We will see you tomorrow for D&D.
D&D times. We've had a full array of thumbs up in the Discord.
Confirmation, yeah. Which is unheard of.
Yeah, pretty much. We've had a full lineup, so that's good.
Yeah.
So we'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming and chilling with us. Mwah. Love you loads. Good night.